Hey, and welcome to Crippled System Adepticon Battle Report number 1.
It was the first one we're recording.
This is the first one we're recording, yeah. This is Andy.
And this is Nathan.
And right now, it looks like here, this is round 3 of day 1 of the Adepticon Masters. This is Chad Kaufman versus Trevor Attridge.
Yep, Chad is on your left playing Circle, which by default means Trevor. Trevor's on the right playing that other thing, Signar.
I sure hope he's on the right.
He's on the right. Well, he better be. If Cheddar Caveman is playing Circle or Signar randomly, and Trevor's playing Circle, that'll just be weird. So I'm just going to go by the assumption that Chad is playing Circle because that's all he ever plays.
Oh, you know what I forgot to mention, or I forgot to put in War Room?
What's that?
Because it doesn't exist in War Room.
What's that?
Objectives.
Oh, that is true. They're not objectives. I know Chad had Bunker. I saw that when you were looking at their list. He had Bunker.
Nope, Fuel Cache.
He had Fuel Cache?
Yep.
Oh, so then did Trevor have Bunker? I saw Bunker on one of the lists you sent me.
Yep, Trevor had Bunker.
Okay, so the Signar player has Bunker. It makes sense. Most Hordes armies like to do Fuel Cache because free charges is gigantic for beasts.
Yep.
It's good for Warjacks as well, except people don't bring Warjacks, so it's irrelevant. I should say, for what it's worth, kind of a pre-apology, not necessarily, but we recorded this with just ambient microphones. We didn't have like clip mics on the players or anything, so we couldn't hear the players over the sound of the background noise of the convention.
Yep.
So we're just we're going to be commentating on this based on visual cues and assumptions. We can't hear what they're doing. We can't hear what they're casting, what their dice are doing. So hopefully we don't get anything grossly wrong.
Yeah, hopefully.
If we do, it's, trust me, it wouldn't have been any better if you could hear the players.
It
would have been better if you could hear the players. It wouldn't have been better if we had put this up without our commentary because you would not have been able to hear the players.
Correct. What the...
But the list, Andy. We know that much for sure, so give us those.
The lists? All right, so over on Chad's side here, he is rocking... Come on, War Room.
Krueger 2, I remember that.
Krueger 2, who is his battle group, has got a Druid Wilder, Megalith, Warp Wolf Stalker, Pureblood Warp Wolf, and a Gorax. Una the Falconer is there with 2 Rotahorn Griffins, 2 Black-clad Wayfarers, Swamp Gobbers, the Bellows Crew, Shifting Stones with Keeper, and just a standard Shifting Stones. So right now it looks like the guys are actually adjusting the zones.
2 units of stones, 1 with the Keeper. Makes sense.
Yep. And then over on Trevor's side, lo and behold, the list builds itself. It's Major Victoria Haley with the Squire. What?
What kind of jack did he bring bonded?
Oh, a Stormwall that's bonded?
Man, okay.
Wow.
Game-breaking tech.
Yep, Thorn. Actually, it's kind of a little different.
It's a little different,
yeah. I mean, the
Haley
only...
too, you get 40 points that build themselves, and then maybe... Okay, you get 46 points that build themselves, and then you got another 4 points to play with.
Yeah, and then the list is basically the only other mercenary, or the only other Signar troops he brings are the Black-clad and the Journeyman Warcaster.
You mean the Black 13th?
Black 13th, yes. I said Black-clad.
You did say Black-clad.
Yeah, Black 13th and Journeyman Warcaster. Otherwise, the rest is all mercenaries. We've got the pretty usual crew, Alexia, Mistress of the Witchfire.
Alexia 2? Do you see Alexia 2 with Haley 2 a lot? I didn't think that was a usual thing. I kind of like it because you get the Alexia 2 brings her spell negating ability, but
nullification. Yep. Iris 2, Reinhold, Gaston, which is a little odd. Nathan and I were kind of talking off camera with that for a little bit. We'll probably talk about it during the game. Lady Ayana and Master Holt, and Tactile Arcanist Core.
Yeah, so I mean that all makes sense. That isn't stuff I necessarily have seen in a lot of Haley 2 lists. This is a joking aside about Bonded Stormwall and Thorn and what else is new, but those mercs they all make sense individually, but I haven't seen that exact layout personally in a Haley 2 list.
Yeah,
I mean the TAC makes sense for making a smoke wall to protect her. Like I said, Alexia. Oh my God, fucking Bonded Stormwalls are so goddamn fast. The Alexia 2 for the spell negation, and then Corpse Collection's always good. And then Gaston. This is what we were talking about. I've seen Gaston splashed into random lists a lot more recently. So there's this one, and then I saw him twice personally in the tournaments I played at where he was just a 3-point solo because he can cast Fire Group himself and get a 14-inch range on his hand cannon that he can then boost, and he can just be a solo sniper like nobody's business.
Okay, that makes sense. So who are the two at the bottom there in front of Haley?
Those are probably TAC that ran up there, would be my guess. That those 3 guys in front of her are TAC.
I think the 3 that just moved up behind her is
Gaston
TAC.
right there. I recognize his knives.
Yep.
That's the Squire way back behind her by the stack of focus. That's Annan Holt up towards the top, and that's the Journeyman in the middle, and that's Reinhold between Haley and the Squire, but up a little. So those other 3 must be the TAC. Oh, unless those are the 3 behind the storm wall. See, this is the problem with not being able to hear them. I don't know who the 2... the Black 13th's in there somewhere.
The Black 13th just moved. They're over by the hill.
My guess is the 3 in the middle behind the storm wall are the TAC, so I don't know who the 2 directly in front of Haley are. That's what I'm going with.
Storm pods? No, but they would be placed in front.
He ran. There's no storm pods.
Yeah. This is fun.
You can check your list again.
I'm looking. Looking. I don't. Is Ion and Holt?
No, they were up more.
All right.
They hadn't moved yet when we started asking this question.
All right.
This is professionalism, people.
I guess we'll find out what they do.
Yeah, I don't know.
I looked at the list there, and I could see the tack. The tack are kind of like an angle behind Haley there.
Well, no, directly behind Haley is the Squire, and then above the center point between Haley and the Squire is Reinhold.
Maybe that is the tack.
Yeah, so, I think that's the tack.
All right.
Because,
done.
Yes, we're going with that being the tactical Alchemist core unless something else changes.
Yep.
So, predictions, or what do you think of the lists before we go?
What do I think of the list?
Yeah. We're already discussing her slightly because I was talking about the Mercs and how I felt about them. What do you think?
Well, I mean, in the Mercs in her list, they're golden Mercs. I mean, they're you pretty much see them all the time. Iris 2, Alexia 2. I agree with you, and her Arcane Vortex is really nice. Being able to get rid of that, and also Haley doing the same thing in a sense,
right,
with hers.
Well, she didn't keep that in Haley 2. I thought that was Haley 1, and Haley 2 instead copies a spell. So this is a cheap way to keep that ability that she lost when she went
application.
Epic. Yeah, Haley 1 had the Arcane Vortex, and then she gave it up.
Correct.
Ooh, Krueger getting ballsy.
Yeah.
Purposely staying out of his control area.
Do you think we'll see a storm wall hitting a storm front? Or a storm wall hitting a storm wall?
We'll hit a storm wall hitting a storm wall. There's no storm front.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I was double checking the name of the spell.
Yeah, no. They definitely Well, Signar likes to name their colossals after Krueger 2 spells and abilities and whatnot.
What is the other? Yeah, the Hurricane.
Yeah.
Is that actually one of Krueger's spells? No.
Yeah, something. I remember people joking about it. Man, Chad is really not advanced. He's being incredibly defensive with his posturing. I mean, I guess his only other option would be to move multiple things up and know that at least one of them is dying to a storm wall.
Yeah. I assume that storm wall went up. I mean, that seems to be the best tactic at this time here, because Haley is really kind of more of a ranged force.
Well, and with temporal acceleration and everything and the bond, if anything that goes up to the zones, like even if it just toes into a zone, it's close enough that the storm wall just says you're gone. Just gone. That's an auto kill to one thing that gets close enough. So Chad's only options that I could think of were either to move multiple things up and just know that he's losing at least one of them and hope that he can then counterattack with what's left, or do what he's obviously choosing to do, which is to barely move up at all, give massive table space advantage to Trevor, but hopefully get something of an alpha strike.
Yep. There goes one of the Rotter horns up. It looked like it just ran. Yeah, having some type of audio in this would be really good to
whatever.
at least hear them.
The audio we had was garbage. Trust me, awkward silence is better than what we had. There, we recreated the convention background noise.
Also, Charlie Brown's Classroom.
Was that movie any good?
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, you were so excited
I
to
was
see it.
really goddamn excited
you were
to see that
wetting
movie.
yourself about seeing it because you're a big Charlie Brown fan.
Not really a Charlie Brown fan. I just remember it fondly.
Sure,
and that
nostalgia.
The animation style for that was really good. It brought back that nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
So it seemed like it was solid. I saw it was on video already, so it's probably on a streaming service somewhere. I will watch it.
They were just gesticulating something in the middle of the table. True story.
Our first tangent. I'm so proud.
Well, Trevor just rolled 4 dice. You got 2 1s, a 5, and a 6.
I think Trevor is just rolling dice to roll dice.
Yes, no, I know he's just rolling dice. A pair of 6. That was a 1, a 2, and a pair of 6s.
Well, he's practicing his way that he can roll dice perfectly.
Well, he hasn't rolled a single 4 yet, so if this was Ship Captain Crew, he'd be doing incredibly badly. Plus, he has a 1-die handicap for Ship Captain Crew.
Very, very hard to qualify above 6 on.
Yes, it's incredibly difficult. Yeah, Chad is just very pensive. I mean, he's reluctant to move anything at all.
Oh, there's a black lad.
Yeah, but again, he's just keeping everything 14 inches away from that storm wall. He is terrified.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a couple 4s over there, Trevor. There you go.
Well, he's got at least a ship.
Well, yeah, he's got the 4. If he rolls these 4, I have the 4 in my head, and so if I see a 5 and a 6, we'll call it qualification. All right, Swamp Cloud and tap it on over. So,
hey, good thing I kept that death clock right in view as well.
We can see that there's a clock there. There's a 5. You already had the 4, Trevor. Sorry, but you got the 5 now. So next time you roll, I'm going to ignore that darker red solid one and only look at the translucent ones. And that's your 3rd roll. And if you get a 6 and then other 2 numbers, that'll be your qualification.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like Stormwall's getting a 3 focus.
At least 3, not 4, huh? Can't really tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably just going to be using his guns.
Oh, you missed it. He's been. I don't think he qualified.
Well, that was a good roll there. I mean, that's got the 4, 5, 6 right there.
All right, so it looks like Journeyman upkept his shield.
Shocking.
On to probably the Stormwall. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Where it's at.
Almost certainly true. Because Haley 2 does not have Arcane Shield, right? That's Haley 1.
Correct.
Yeah, and so there's no way that Arcane Shield isn't staying on the Stormwall for the entire game.
You can put it on Reinhold. I mean,
protect him from blast damage and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pro tech. That's a trench. Good job, Trevor. You pointed at a trench.
I like the 2 trenches. How there's got black lads in both of them.
There's a lot of trenches at Adepticon, which is good. I like trenches. It's a terrain feature that Private Press is really starting to push to see more use. I think it's an interesting thing. I like that it grants cover without also being. The only other ways to really get cover are linear obstacles, and those then you get the whole Pathfinder thing and items getting in the way of each other. So it's cool to have a feature that gives that the cover without the obstacle. That was kind of a sentence. Jesus Christ, that was a bad thing.
All right, so it looks like Thorin ran over to that area there. He's got something on him that he has Arcane Shield?
That is possible. He does have a token on him, and I don't think there's any upkeeps that Haley would have necessarily put onto him.
I don't think so.
No. But he just definitely repositioned down to the southern half of the board. Not sure why. I mean, with the speed that Thorn has.
Oh, it might have been temporal acceleration, maybe. But she didn't go yet, so.
Yeah, she didn't go yet, so it's not temporal acceleration. Yeah, I mean, that's there is no token by Stormwall, so it is possible that Thorn's got the Arcane Shield, which seems like an odd choice, but on the other hand, I mean, Thorn has the ability to arc while engaging and everything, so he's kind of more okay with getting into melee. Man, Alexia going way up top.
Yeah, it looks like she's going to do a... Oh, no.
No, she ran. He's just doing a lot of repositioning. They're both being really defensive and staying outside of each other's threat ranges and just dancing around, which if they keep doing that, that's definitely to Trevor's advantage because he's already in the zone.
Correct. Yep. That's probably why Thorn went down south there, is so he can make sure that zone is contested in some way. I don't think Gaston could do it all by himself.
No, not at all. I mean, Haley's down there too, but that gives Haley the ability to use time bombs and whatnot to clear that zone, and then just having a Warjack towed in, like you said, is much better than having a solo who's definitely killable.
Yep. Looks like
Yeah, I just reconfirmed what I thought. Haley has literally 0 upkeep spells, so that has to be Arcane Shield that's on Thorn.
So it looks like Stormwall taking some shots over at the Warpwolf Alpha. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm calling it the Alpha again.
The Pure Blood.
The Pure Blood. Back in Mark 1, they were called Alphas.
Yep.
And the term has always stuck with me since then.
Couple 10s for damage. So, just a little damage on him. Doesn't hurt. Spit out a pod somewhere. Gonna block that Pure Blood's... Nope. Gonna... Right there in front of the Blackclad.
He wants to contest the trench.
Yes, contest the trench.
A couple covering fire templates.
Yeah. 2 big guns into the Warpwolf, and then a couple covering fire. Yeah, that's just a big fuck you to the Blackclad, because it has the covering fire in front of it in one side, and then the physical blocking of the Storm Pod in the other. That's,
in my belief, that's probably to stop the that one spell that he can do, which is oh geez, if I had it on my phone, the Hunter's Mark.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
I'm sure that's what he's trying to do there, is stop Hunter's Mark.
Yeah. What's the range on his Hunter's Mark? Is it 8 or 10? If it's only 8, then yeah, that's good.
Range 10.
10. If he butts up right against that stone, he might be in the 10 to hit the storm wall. Anyway. Plus, I mean, he can just walk around the stone. But even still, it stops. It shuts down that movement vector.
All right. So it looks like Haley is...
She's thinking. Moving's scary. Measure that kill box.
So nobody else can see this, but we have a new setup that I'm doing for this. Mainly because I figured that the videos... We normally watch this on a smaller television with the audio going. We actually don't even go with the audio there. We have 2 people that have actually played in it, so we can do the commentary that way.
Right.
It's a little bit easier because they know where they placed everything.
And why they placed everything.
Correct.
And they can remember what they did and what they rolled.
Yes.
Like, there's 0 guesswork, assuming they were sober when they played and when they record, because they can remember these things.
Yeah. So this time around, I'm running it on a big old 50-inch television. Which seems, I almost like this setup better. It's a little more comfortable, and we can kind of see what's going on.
He's moving Thorn, so he must have arced something through Thorn to get that free movement. And there's a token on Gaston. Temporal acceleration, I think, is Warjack only, isn't it?
I believe so.
So let's see what he could have put onto Gaston.
Time bomb.
He could have time bombed Gaston. I guess that is legal.
Deadeye.
Yep. Almost certainly dead-eyed Gaston. Got the free move out of Thorn.
Checking range.
Yep. And so there comes Fire Group. No, the 2 he just spent was for Fire Group. So he aimed. He gave himself the extra range. He's shooting with the 3 dice because of time bomb. Or not because of time. Jesus Christ, fuck you. You made me think it was time bomb.
D-cell.
Point is, he missed anyway. He rolled garbage, so he missed the Blacklight Wayfarer.
He hit him with a D-spell.
Something that starts with a D, but not dispel. A D spell, but not dispel.
Even Gaston should have probably hit that.
That's the Tactical Arcanist Corps. Aeon and Holt are currently the models right next to Haley, so we have solved this puzzle.
Yep. Thorns in a cloud. Oh, he threw
putting the cloud behind
him.
yourself is very interesting.
Normally
you just don't move forward as much and put the cloud in front of yourself, but
interesting.
Hey, live how you want to live.
I can see why he did that, so he can actually provide that cloud cover for Haley, and actually still have them kind of further out to prevent AoE damage.
Yeah, I suppose so. Because he could have put those exact same clouds, but had the core back 3 inches to be safer. But I mean, then they'd be huddled around each other, so any AoEs that came out there could hit them. But I don't know if there's much AoEs on Chad's line, but this also gives him further up the field, which, given that Chad isn't threatening him with anything at all, there's no reason not to get further up the field.
Yep.
Use those clouds to get stealth for the Black 13th, because they like having stealth.
They do
They
like
have prowl,
prowl.
right? Or they just have camouflage. I think they have prowl.
It helps if we actually know the factions that we're talking about here.
I'm in the middle of drinking a beer, and I don't play Signar. All I know is the Black 13th are bullshit, so I'm assuming it's Prowl because that's way better, and they're broken as hell. I also know that they're not a solo, so I need to look in a different category in my war room.
They
have Prowl. Granted Prowl, thanks to Watts.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Watts.
Not Jason Watt, but...
Not Jason Watt.
Watt?
What? That was a good game. Good series.
What?
It's a good series.
What series?
The Oddworld.
Oh, yeah.
Were you not doing a Slig
no,
impression?
I wasn't doing a Slig impression.
Well,
no.
you were. It was a flawless Slig impression.
What?
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 Get him. Here, boy. I was actually surprisingly, I could apparently do a decent Slig voice. I didn't know I could do that. Here, boy. Get him. Get him. Let's just spend the next hour doing Slig voices. Well, eventually a model will attack another model, and then things will get a lot more exciting. Damn it, I need to replay that game. I didn't get them. You got them for free with PlayStation Plus. I wasn't a PlayStation Plus member until the next month, so I barely missed getting those games.
Oh, I think they're only $10 anyway.
Yeah, I might get them.
They're worth it.
Did you download what's it, Zombie is on there now?
Yeah, Zombie U.
Yeah, but it's the non-U version. That's kind of fun. I played it for a while, and then my character died.
Well, your character died, but you start with a new character, and then you go after...
Yeah, and then you can go get your own character. It's kind of a cool mechanic to have a game where your character, it's permadeath, but you just get a new character, and you have to go kill your first character to get your stuff back.
Yep.
Good times.
I think that's kind of a really neat mechanic.
All right, Chad, get up in there. Let's start this shit.
Get him.
Get him.
Oh, he's going to Hunter's Mark the... Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's got rolled 10.
Or
try to break the objective eventually.
Or a spray, but I assume that it's
no damage
Mark.
roll, so it must have been Hunter's Mark. He's sending that Stalker.
Yep.
Well, and the Hunter's Mark, because of reach, he might be able to charge to... I'm calling the top of your TV north. He might be able to charge the north side of the objective and then use the reach to smack Thorn.
Yep.
You know, and if you put... I mean, the Arcade Shield's on there, but with the Gorax... Nope, never mind. He's not doing that at all. Or is he? He's moving some... Oh, he's... What are you doing? You're not moving
He's moving the objective.
He's moving the Stalker. So, nope, he's just going straight to the objective. He's not going to get greedy and try to smack Thorn. He's just going to try to break the objective down.
They were getting a base ready just in case they need it.
Yeah. Or we can just Pagani it over to the south and be on a flat surface and not worry about it.
A Pagani? What's a Pagani? Ooh, that's a pretty horrible damage roll for the Stalker. Looked like he put sprint on himself. that seems to be the best way to go.
Sure. I mean, it is an enemy model, so you definitely can proc that.
Yeah. All right, so
Maybe
Trevor's
not sprint. That might have just been warp for strength. That could have just been his warp.
Wow, I would have sprinted. That would have been what I did.
Sure.
He could have gone back into the trench and had cover. Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess he's not really. I mean,
he's got
not,
a Fury on him. He only attacked once. I mean, they have. Oh no, they don't have an off claw, do they? They just have one initial attack. The stalkers, or
No,
do
they
they
got-
have
they
an
got
off
two
attack
claw.
with their claw?
They got two attacks.
I didn't see him make. I only saw him make 2 damage rolls, and he only forced once. Maybe he just didn't take his claw attack and just went straight to buying attacks.
Yeah, because they can berserk off their claw too.
Sure. Yeah. Well, he must have just not taken his second initial attack, or he rolled 3 times and I missed one of them. But either way, he did not sprint, and he is out there.
I don't think there's really much out there that can really threaten him, though. I guess you have Gaston there, attack and Thorn. It's
Well, even still, I mean, he can back up into the trench and be safer.
Yep.
I mean, there's no reason not to be safer. Unless he wants to be up a little where he's hypothetically threatening Haley, maybe, kind of. Except she can feat and she can get Thorn in his way, so no, he's not. But, I mean, since the Stormwall's so far to the top of the screen, there's not, like you said, there's not much that can threaten him. So maybe he just wants to be out there being brave, being strong.
Looks like the wolf regenerated. I believe they have regenerate. The alpha.
Get into that zone.
Get him.
Ooh, getting way into that zone, not just towing it.
Yep, he regenerated the alpha. Spraying Alexia.
Just perfect range measurement. Just barely got her in that 10 inches.
Beautiful 10-inch spray that
Beautiful toga.
he has. Which that got added in Mark II as well.
Yes. 6 and 10 both got added.
Yep. Looks like that
that'll
8
hit.
that we saw on the table definitely hit.
And then
Damaged. Ooh, that's
7 plus whatever that. Oh, that's a good damage roll.
There
Goodbye,
goes
Alexia. Good job. Yeah, that's hard to one-shot her. She's got 8 wounds and or 10.
like
She's
17.
got a decent chunk of wounds and decent armor, so that's
at least a 17 armor.
yeah. I mean, he rolled a 12, a little above average, but still.
16 armor.
What's the power on the Wolf? Do you know?
14, I believe.
Yeah, so off 2. So
Is 14.
yeah.
Sorry. I do have some fat squirrel in the car in the fridge too.
Fat Squirrel's good. It's no 2 women.
Oh,
Most annoying thing
Krueger's-
is drinking beer on a diet because it's like 200 calories per beer, and that's bullshit. Alcohol is way too high in calories.
Well, that's why you need Bud Light.
Fair point. I don't mind the light beers like the Miller Lights, Bud Lights. You know, I mean, you know,
I don't mind Bud Light. I can actually drink Bud Light. I don't like Miller Light, but yeah, I do still like my full beers. So Krueger's going up there. I believe he was doing lightning.
Whoa, a lot of hands on the table here. What the hell's going on?
TK probably.
Oh, sure, TK.
TK
Oh no,
Thorn.
Thorn, you're facing the wrong direction now. Your butt.
Oh, I'm wondering if he's probably just going to feat here, try to push everybody out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously can't push the storm wall, but he's definitely measuring control. This is looking like a feet measurement. Yeah.
Yep. That's what he did. He just feated. So there goes one of the attack out. There goes Gaston out.
I just verified you do indeed have to roll 12 on damage to one-shot Alexia with the Warp Wolf, so good job.
Yep.
'Cause he is a 14, you were right, so it's dice minus 2 and she has 10 wounds. Get your laser if you want to get the vectors. There you go. See, Trevor knows what's up. You got to use the laser to get those vectors right.
I want to bring this up because this will probably come up sometime in the tournament here. I think the worst invention Privateer ever made.
Yeah.
The worst invention they ever made was the smoke cloud rings. because they have the numbers on the side that make you think that you want to use them as scatter templates,
Yeah.
but you can't pinpoint a center on it. You can guess where the center is on it.
Yeah.
But I see people using those all the time for
I bought a widget from I got mine from Broken Egg. I'm sure other companies might sell them. I don't think Muse has them yet, but I got mine from Broken Egg. But it's a small base. It's a proxy small base that has the 6 directions on it. Mm-hmm. And what's great about it is that unlike the rings, so you got the big rings and you deviate those and then you just kind of hover them and try to see where the rings are.
Sure.
This, you deviate it and you set it down on the table and then you grab your blast damage widgets that you use on small, medium, and large bases. And so you grab the small base widget and you just set it down next to that and go, these are the models that got hit.
That is amazing.
It is amazing. I love it so much. It's way better than holding the ring above the table and trying to eyeball it. I'm like, set that bitch down and grab your widget, because everybody has those widgets now. The blast, the blast radius widgets. Yeah, I love that guy. That little. I haven't bought a lot of gimmicky templates, but that's one that I saw it and Flanzer explained how to use it. I'm like, gimme that.
No, that's amazing. I love the smoke rings that they gave.
Yeah.
But I wish they never put those numbers on them, because I just see at our local store and at tournaments people using them to use for blast templates. I'm like, that no.
You keep bumping your chair and your mouse keeps moving and it keeps bringing up the timestamp on the video.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a spoiler.
Well, I guess
people will know how much time's left.
No.
Oh, no?
We're not recording us on this. We're recording the audio for us on this.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
I can put it on the original video live.
You
could just minimize this and put random things on the screen and people aren't going to see what we're seeing now.
Yeah, like we could just immediately switch to porn, like SpongeBob.
SpongeBob porn?
Yeah, we could just switch to that.
Oh God, I had so many images just pop into my head. You do not want to know what I assume SpongeBob porn includes.
You want to give the audience what the audio sounds like?
Let's see what's happening right now first. Something moved into there that's a black clad, right?
That's no, the other black clad is up north. I think that's Una.
Oh, sure. And that's her falcon in front of her. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, okay. That's the audio. If you heard it for a second, it's pretty horrible.
Well, you can put it on like 10% so it's not deafening and you can see if you can hear people. But spoiler, you can't.
No. Megalith is running up and Pagani back.
Well, I mean, the obvious thing is that Chad has agreed with me that if he plays the I don't move forward if you don't move forward game, he will lose. So he moved forward and feeded to protect himself so that he can get a little better table position. So my assumption is that Trevor's going to counterfeet. He's going to limp forward 2-3 inches, feet on Chad, so that Chad won't be able to move into him and do damage. And so Trevor will still end up getting the first actual impactful turn in.
Mm-hmm. Unless he does, if he doesn't lose by scenario, because that's right now Chad's up by one point for destroying the marker, and at the end of this turn, it's going to be at 3 points for dominating that zone.
God, you're right. Yeah, and Thorn will get in there. Yeah, I'm just trying to think how much damage Krueger can do with TKing things out and then TKing the stalker up. Because obviously Trevor's going to have to feet. And so if the stalker TK'd forward 2 inches plus his reach of 2 inches, if he'd be able to kill something that is at least 2.5 inches into the zone.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because anything that's less than 2 inches into the zone just gets TK'd out. And anything that's 2.5 inches into the zone is probably within range to TK the stalker forward and then kill it. Yeah, that's actually a real danger.
Yep. At least it looks like to me. I mean, if one of those toe back in, they could be TK'd forward and then stalker move TK'd towards them.
Well, if they toe in, they're just TK'd out.
That's true, too.
Yeah, if they're towed in, he just TKs them out and wins by scenario immediately. So they have to get in at least 2 inches and a hair. And if you're in that far, you're going to be all the way to like the front of that Hordes logo.
Yep.
And that's definitely within 6 inches of the stalker. So you could be TK'd forward. The stalker could be TK'd forward. Even forfeiting his movement to Haley's feet, he's just going to beat you to death.
Yep.
especially with the Gorax, with Primal on it, warping for strength. You're going to be backwards because of the TK. So unless he can tow in like 4 things, but I don't think anything else can get there because of the feat speed reduction. He's only going to be able to get in 1 TA, the Tactical Arcanist Core. No, that's not TA, Tactical Arcanist Core. What's that down there between Thorn and Gaston?
It's attack.
That is attack, that way down there?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That is. That's the one that put up the cloud. So he'll have those 3 models might be able to get in there. Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be his big fear right now is that, and judging by Chad's spile, that's what Chad is hoping happening, is that he can't get enough into there to contest that zone. Yeah, I really didn't think about the combination of Krueger feeding to push him out of the zone and getting the 3 points, and with that threat of TK, it's hard to get enough into that zone to stop him
from dominating the second time.
Yeah. Storm pods aren't TKable, but you can drop one of those in there to help.
I believe the storm wall was in.
That's got to be a run from Thorn.
Yeah.
He can't get that far without running. Because what's it, -3 speed, -2 speed?
I believe
I think it's
Krueger
2,
is minus.
Because Gorton is -3, and I think Gorton's is
-2.
stronger than Krueger's.
Correct. I believe it's a -2. I'll look on the right phone.
It's like an admonition move on a Rotterhorn.
Watcher.
Rather. Yeah, sorry. You can stand on that trench template, Griffin. I believe in you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it really seems like that. I mean, their trenches are really good in general, but I'll put this.
Get a die under there, Chad. There you go. Come on, just prop it on up.
Privateer's trenches are really good. I mean, they can really balance most models, especially if they have some heft. Unfortunately, since they're going to plastic,
yeah,
it kind of tips a little bit easier because they can't really grip better.
The flip side is that you can, because they weigh less, if you put weights under the base, it makes it so that they're more sturdy and anti-tippable. Mm-hmm. So you can grab, I keep calling them fish weights, and people hate that I call them fish weights because that's a nonsense term I made up, but the sinkers that you use for fishing.
I knew what you were talking about when you said fish weights.
Fish weights. You can put fish weights under the base there and get the extra weight on the bottom of the model, and they're far less prone to tipping. A plastic model on a metal base is way more sturdy than a metal model on a plastic base.
Correct. Looks like Trevor was just attacking over there, possibly a chain lightning, maybe.
Yeah, they're
or time bomb.
Yeah, he must have time bombed the.
Because Thorn can still channel while engaged.
Correct. That's his fancy schmanciness.
Yeah.
So he time bombed that Griffin right there just to hit everything. I mean, obviously, he doesn't really care that much about the damage done. It's all just about trying to... Hey, are you going to move 3 inches out of the zone? No. Yeah, he's definitely within range to get TK'd out of the zone, though.
Yep.
I would be very worried if I was Trevor about how close all my models are to the edge of that zone.
Yeah, wow. It was tapping over to see if he could move something for Watcher after
he was inviting another Watcher move, but I think he's going to save that.
Nope, he is. So there goes the other Rotterhorn up to...
Oh, but he's not going to attack. He's just going to move the other Rotterhorn up. Yeah, you know the dice work. You used it for the first one. Come on, Chad. Just tap it back over. Tap that clock, Chad. Maybe Trevor already did. Sorry, I'm watching in rapt silence. Yeah, I'm just...
Yeah, I'm very, very.
Well, I mean, you can still run under the feet, so he could bring down that other Tactical Arcanist core. He could bring down Reinhold. He could get multiple models into there. And I guess he's just got to be careful. And Trevor's a good enough player. I assume he's aware of that. So my stunned disbelief that he's leaving Thorn close enough to get TK'd out of that zone must mean he has other plans. He's not a bad enough player that he's just going to abandon that zone and lose on scenario.
Correct. Yeah.
Of course, if that's exactly what happens, I'm going to feel really bad, claiming that only an idiot would do that. Only a drooling simpleton moron would. Oh.
Womp womp womp.
Speaking of that sound effect, did you watch the Red Letter Media thing where they just read the Wikipedia article about Darth Vader's suit?
No.
It's amazing.
Oh.
They just print out all it is. It's literally just straight the Wikipedia article about Darth Vader's suit. And the suit is terrible. Like, it talks about how, like, the knee brace is misaligned, so it just, like, causes him agony and it catches on the fabric, and so he can barely walk, and, like, it's just this awful, horrible thing. And the best part is they talk about how they were going to get him a brand new suit that solved all these problems, but due to budgetary constraints, they couldn't afford to get him a new suit.
Is this canon?
This is Wikipedia, so I mean, it's canon from, like, Expanded Universe, and half the Expanded Universe, like, we remember the good ones, like the Thrawn series and everything, but half the Expanded Universe was just glorified fan fiction,
Yeah.
They had a Wookiee who had a speech impediment that made him speak so that normal people could understand him, like.
Okay,
but yeah, it's just like budgetary constraints. Like, these people built 2 Death Stars. How expensive could Vader's suit be?
They can't get one of their leading generals a new suit.
Yeah. And so every time they'd read one of these things about how it, like, caused him agony and he could barely walk downstairs and stuff like this, they would just zoom in on a picture of Vader and play the do-do-do-do. He's just a crippled old man in a defective life support suit. Poor Vader.
Nothing is really going on during the entire Vader story.
Well, that's the point of the Vader story, is to kill that dead air while Trevor contemplates what he's going to do.
I mean, I guess one thing you could possibly do is maybe run the Stormwall down. Can he with the...
It's only going to be, what, speed 2, speed 4? So, no, it won't be able to get into the zone. It's speed 5 normally, right?
It is speed 5.
Yeah, and so the bond makes it 7. I guess he could temporally accelerate it, which gives it another +2, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is a possibility. Yeah, it is speed 5 naturally. He could do that. You're right, he could do that.
And then guaranteeing that you won't be able to pull it out.
Yeah,
and can't TK it either. So, I mean, that if he can get it into that edge of the zone there, but, I mean, that's...
Yeah, and if he feeds, then Chad can't run Krueger up to the top zone to dominate it for a point, so he'd be stuck at his 3 points.
It could be, well, I think he did feat because it looked like there's a bunch of soul tokens over onto the Stalker in them.
Oh, you think you're just marking? Oh, that's the time bomb, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's the time bomb marker.
Yep.
Which maybe he's not time bombing, or not time. Excuse me. Maybe he's not feeding yet. It's possible, because I don't see much reason for him to have time bombed that group if he was going to feed. Because -2 defense is nothing, because he doesn't have much that's going to be attacking down there this turn.
Correct.
And -2 speed is 100% irrelevant if you feed.
Correct.
Well, I mean, I guess he could forfeit his action and move, but if he's forfeiting his action moving, you don't give a shit about his speed. Like, you're just happy he's not killing things.
Yep.
So he might be time bombing instead of feeding.
Definitely still is Haley's turn. Oh,
take that, Megalith!
Right to the face.
Fuck you. Yeah, I'm. Trevor's a better player than I, though, so I trust his judgment.
Yep. You can also go watch his Warmer streams, I believe. I'd have to double check his site. I should have looked up his YouTube page before I started there. But he's got some of the other streams for day 2 of Masters.
Sure.
As well.
When he's in the losing bracket. Spoilers! Actually, I have no idea how this game turns out. I know who won Masters, so that person has an earlier round match on here. So that's the only match I'm going to know who won it. Oh, that's not true. While the finals game was being played, you recorded...
basically second. Whoever won that was going to get second.
You recorded that table, and I know who won that one. But so 2 of the 5 games you recorded, I know the result. This one, however, the topical one, I have no goddamn idea. I continue to ramble to fill dead air.
Yeah, there's a lot of just Haley thinking here. Looks very similar to my when I was playing over in Lock and Load last year.
Well, like we said, there's a puzzle. If he doesn't get either enough stuff or a big enough thing, i.e. the Stormwall, into that lower zone, he loses on Chad's turn.
Yep.
Like, because between 3 TKs and that Stalker, Chad should be able to clear that zone of almost anything. So he's either got to jam in enough stuff to prevent that, or he's got to temporally accelerate that Stormwall and run it down into the zone. And so, I see why there's a lot of thought, because he knows that he's down 3-0. He's debuffed like a mama jama. This is his turn to think.
Yep.
And it's my turn to finish my beer.
You another 300 calories? There's one in the fridge.
No, thank you, sir. I will save that for when I have lunch, and I'll get like a sandwich or something.
Yeah, we should get some food after this. So we might have an interruption of a Brian Kerr showing up here, maybe in about a half hour.
Yeah, I think
before the game is done.
I'm not sure how much time is left on this game, but it might be about the same time. So thoughtful. Watched The Hateful Eight yesterday. Just to kill more dead air. I think it was my least favorite Quentin Tarantino film. I thought it was kind of weak overall, but compared to his other films. But that's mostly just because Tarantino makes really good films. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid movie, but his other films are all super good, and so I thought it was just like, that was good.
I guess I'm also giving you the weird eye too. So you liked Jackie Brown more than Hateful Eight?
Okay, spoiler, everyone since the beginning of time has always said Jackie Brown is Tarantino's weakest film, so I've never bothered to watch it.
Oh, really?
So it's possible if I watched Jackie Brown, it would be my least favorite, but people have universally said that that's his biggest misstep, that's his worst movie, so I've just never gotten around to watching it.
So it looks like...
Another TK.
Another TK
off.
moved Megalith up a little bit, and definitely see the feet marker on the table there. I love those Muse colored tokens. They are beautiful.
Yeah, I wish they would get around to making them for all the other factions. And I actually, oddly enough, I think I personally would like the double-sided ones more than the full set. Because, they have the 2 different sets.
No, they're that's all the same ones.
Have they cut it down?
They're all double-sided.
When they first introduced them, they had sets that had everything. They were all double-sided, but they had a set where the tokens, like Arcane Shield would have Arcane Shield on the other side, and every spell had its own token, and so there were twice as many tokens.
Correct. Nope.
And then they had a version with half as many tokens where Arcane Shield would have,
something else.
Something else would have something else on the other side, but it was stuff that wasn't shared between casters. And that takes a little more digging to find the right tokens. You can't just separate them and say this is Haley's pile and this is Siege's pile. But on the other hand, it's half as many tokens to lug around.
Correct.
But it was half the cost too, so I would go with that one. But they both have their advantages, I guess. But with my personality, I like the one that
has the more tokens.
That has fewer tokens.
Oh, yep.
I like the ones with fewer actual physical tokens because it still has everything I need. The only time it would ever be an issue is if you played a multicaster game.
All right. Looks like the Black 13th are going up and shooting. Oh, no, it's Ian and Holt.
Yep, that's a harm. Take that. You just got remote made out with in the butt, so that's we call that a rim job.
Looks like Stormwall is still up, so Holt could not shoot at Megalith.
Could not.
But he's harmed.
He is harmed. He is definitely harmed. I don't think he's within 7 inches of that storm wall, though, so he's not going to get temporal accelerated and walk. I guess it would be... No, it would be 9. 9 inches. Yeah, so the storm wall could, with temporal acceleration, walk over there and punch the living shit out of him. But
yeah, it looks very close. And who's this moving up? Looks like maybe at one of the attack? No.
I think that's the... I think that was a Reinhold
that
run.
is the Black 13th. Where's that, Reinhold? No, that's not Reinhold.
That was Black 13th? He moved like 6 inches. That has to be a run if it's a... Yeah, I guess it is Black 13th. They must be running. Or maybe not. I thought he moved 6 inches. Maybe it was just 4, and the fact that it was going around Holt. No, yeah, see, that's 6. Oh, duh, silly me. The Black 13th were not in Krueger's feet.
Not all of them. Looks like only one of them was.
Yeah. I was wondering how these people are moving 6 inches and still going to be able to shoot, and the answer is because they weren't in the feet.
So he's measuring to make sure that they're outside of Krueger's control, so he can possibly shoot at Megalith. But I don't know if he's going to have enough range. Looks like
even if he does, the bigger deal to me is that where Holt and that front Black 13th model are means that he is not temporal. Well, and also the lack of a temporal acceleration token means that the storm wall is not coming 9 inches to the south to tow that zone.
Yep.
So I really, really feel like, Gaston hasn't gone yet. To me right now, I'm looking at this and if I'm in Chad's head right now, I'm biting my tongue and I'm happy because as soon as I get a turn, Thorn gets TK'd out of that zone and I win.
Yep.
And I don't know if I'm missing something or if Trevor has an additional plan with his remaining models or if that's just what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, the only things that look like they can get over there is a random Reinhold running full bore into there, the attack running into there, Gaston. Maybe he's going to place them so they're all like facing out in some way.
Sure.
But, yeah. Well, even, yeah. So Megalith is taking some damage.
Just, yeah, because, he doesn't have Chain Lightning, Krueger 2. He lost that. That's Krueger 1 only. But he definitely, he can do the triple TK.
He's got Chain on his gun, though, I believe, doesn't he?
No. He has Sustained Attack. You're thinking of, well, maybe you're not thinking of, but Severius 2 has Ashes to Ashes on his gun.
Oh, yeah.
Which is arcable.
Yep.
No, he has Sustained Attack on his gun. But, I mean, he does have a rate of fire 3 gun, so he could even aim and shoot 3 guys. Oh, no, he couldn't aim because of the feet.
Yep.
But, I mean, boost to hit with his Rat 6. He's got a respectable Rat.
Looks like the attack are running in.
They're advancing. I was going to say, definitely you got to go around because you can't move through another model.
Well, they're -2 speed, and they're 4 speed in general.
My point is,
So
he was measuring the 4 inches straight, and it would have required him to go over Reinhold, which isn't possible, which is why that guy wasn't able to get into the zone. That slight angle he had to take kept him just barely out of the zone. So he's going to have just Gaston, Thorn, and that one TAC member in the zone.
I guess Gaston he can make it into the forest and be in the zone too, so he would at least have some higher defense.
Well, this TAC can put a cloud down, right? Or no? Did they?
No, because they ran.
They can't.
They had to run forward.
Are they speed 4 to
They're
start?
Speed 4.
Oh, Jesus, they're speed 4.
Yeah,
good God.
Yeah, that's why he had to run really far to get in. Yeah, I think Gaston should be able to actually, if he's not going to do anything for shooting, he should be able to just walk into the forest and be towed into the zone.
Yeah, but he's only like defense 13, I think. He's got a pretty low defense. Let me double check here. 14. He's defense 14, So even if he does that, he's only going to be defense 16. So Krueger only needs a 9 to hit him with a TK.
True. And boosted, that's very, very, very likely. Wow, he only has to get rid of 3 models to get out of that zone to win.
Yeah, and that's assuming it looks like that upper TAC did not make it to the zone.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see green in between the zone and that guy. So unless they've agreed otherwise, I think only 3 models, like you said, are currently in that zone. Measuring to make sure, too. Yeah, so Gaston cannot be TK'd out. He has to be killed.
Yep.
So to me, it looks like TK Thorn out, TK a TAC out, TK a Stalker forward, and kill a Gaston is the most likely route to success for Chad.
Sitting on full camp. I mean, even sitting on full camp, Gaston is probably not going to be able to take a Warp
Yeah, it'll
Wolf.
be 14-18 with 5 wounds. I mean, he can even primal that Warp Wolf just to be sure.
Would he? Yep. Yep, and the Warp Wolf is a 17 already, I believe.
Yeah.
For his.
Now, I think a pod's going to be coming in here, too, which is going to help.
Looks like make sure the Stormwall is facing both arcs and at the Megalith.
It's 4 shots, not a bad number of guns.
4 and 3 looks like.
Right, so that's 4 shots, right? Because they're D3.
Yep.
So 2 and 2. And punch the objective, because why the fuck not?
His own objective? Oh, no, that's, yeah.
Yeah, that's caveman.
Yep.
Oh, no, actually, no, because it doesn't have Virtuoso, does it?
No.
He just pointed at the objective for no reason. Laying into Megalith, shooting him in his butt with the guns. That's my song.
Yeah, I
There's
almost...
no more Megalith. He's out of the game now. Goodbye.
I almost would have just thrown the Stormwall. So Time Bomb is how much focus? I think he should...
4, I believe. It's an expensive spell. I mean, it's super good, though.
Temporal Acceleration is 3, I believe.
Yep, and here comes a pod.
So it'd be
I think that's a terrible place for the pod. If he TKs that Warp Wolf forward, well, unless it's more than 4 inches. Okay, we'll see where it ends up. I just feel like if it's in a place where it can be attacked at the same time that
because he could just get Berserk off of that.
Oh my god, that might even be the super worst place because Krueger. Let me double check the POW of that spell. Krueger has an AOE. I think it does POW 10 to everything in the area. And let me check how big of an AOE that is.
It's probably at least a 3.
Well, it's definitely at least a 3.
Because that's what AOE start at.
AOE 2. It is an AOE 3. I'm not sure if it'll clip the TAC. If it clips the TAC, that means that was the worst place to put that pod.
It might have been better just to put the pod almost like directly in front of the Warp Wolf, so he'd have to angle his TK.
So the pod would be immune to the AOE. It is lightning. It is electrical type.
Oh,
but it would be a way to kill that TAC.
Yep. But I mean, I assume that if you put the pod in front of the Warp Wolf, then he has to either kill that pod first, so that's has a weird order activation thing, or he would have to TK around the pod with the Warp Wolf.
Here's the thing, though, that is worth noting. Krueger's offensive... Well, he has Gallows. He does have Gallows. But Krueger's main offensive spell is Lightning type. His gun is Lightning type. If that pod is 4.1 inches away from the Warp Wolf can't get to it. So the only thing that Krueger has that can get it is random other janky stuff, i.e. literally just Krueger casting Gallows at it, I think.
I don't think it can be pulled either. It's immovable.
No, but it's still a POW 12 or POW 13,
yep.
to kill it.
Yep, because that has that clean power type.
It's POW 13. So Krueger would have to gallows it if he wanted to kill it. That's assuming it's more than 4 inches away from the Warp Wolf, which I think it is. And if he gallowses it, TKs the Warp Wolf forward, and TKs Thorn out, he does not have any focus left to deal with the TAC.
It looks like the Warp Wolf, with the tape measure there, Warp Wolf
might be within 4 inches of the pod.
Yep. He's at least 4 inches.
He was measuring 6 to the TAC.
Some circling and... All right, so it looks like they're just checking Krueger's
just slightly more than 8 inches away from that TAC, it looked like, judging by that spray template.
And that's the classic spray template.
Which is
not the 10-inch one.
Technically incorrect now.
Correct. It doesn't have that little lip in the very front of it.
Yep. They're not flat across the front like they used to be.
So I'm not sure what Chad just rolled on, but...
Maybe a frenzy check on something? I don't know what has Fury on it still. I don't think anything does. So I am not sure what that roll was. Whatever it was is a low roll because I saw a 2. Yeah.
To me, it seems like he has to TK at least. TKing 3 things that's going to take up all of his fury.
Correct. I mean, he can TK Thorn and he can TK. It's TK Thorn, TK the TAC, and TK the Warp Wolf if TKing the Warp Wolf gets it within melee range of both the Stone and Gaston. If it does, then those 3 TKs win the game.
Yep.
That looks like, I'm assuming that's a primal on the Stalker. So we.
I mean, guaranteeing that the Gaston will die if he gets hit.
Yeah.
It should be noted though too. I don't believe the Riderhorn Griffins can go up and actually do their shriek because they need their action and movement to do a special action.
Kind of. Let's look at the animus on them. If the Blackclad puts their animus onto them,
or you mean Una?
Or well, doesn't he have a?
Not
the Blackclad. Who's the one that can put the animus on something else?
I believe that's Una.
Wilder. No, the Wilder is who I'm thinking of. The Wilder is who I'm thinking of. The Druid Wilder.
Oh, okay.
Because the Rotterhorn's animus, I don't think requires taking an action to take the additional action. Let me double check it. The wording. So at the end of the target friendly model's activation, it can perform a special action. So the Rotterhorn, if the Wilder or Una put their animus onto them, they would be able to advance and then shriek.
Yep.
But at least the closest one is time bombed, so it's only speed 4 then.
Yep. Oh, it looks like that Thorn is dead.
Oh, okay, so he did not TK Thorn. He instead just had the Stalker murder him with Primal while we were talking about random other shit. But if I don't know what his plan is for Gaston if he had the Stalker murder Thorn. Yeah.
Well, the Rotterhorns could actually just put the animus on themselves, advance.
Sure.
And then they'll be able to do a special action.
Yeah, they could do it themselves as well. You are right. But I just worry because the one that's closer to the stone is only speed 4 right now.
Correct.
And the one that's further is speed 6 and didn't get caught. So I guess he can get up to the stone, but
he should be able to get rid of the TAC if that stupid the pod wasn't in the way. So maybe pod placement was good.
I mean, the pod placement. Yeah. The only thing that I didn't like the pod placement was if it put the pod within. Well, at first he had it way closer, and then he pulled it back, because if the pod was within 4 inches of the stalker, it was a disastrous pod placement. But he ended up not doing that, because if the pod was closer, then TK Gaston forward, TK the stalker forward, and TK Thorn out, and then no, that still leaves something to kill the TAC. Hopefully me just repeating what I would have done if things were different is incredibly annoying to anybody listening to this, because that's my only job, is to instill rage and annoyance in our listening audience.
Looks like Chad is probably measuring that front rotor horn, which is -2 speed.
Yeah.
Trying to gauge on where it might be able to go.
Yeah. I mean, its shriek should catch the stone, but it's dice -10, so whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, and
it's
that
also
shriek
dice -10 on that other guy. You know, the guy.
the tech.
No.
Gaston.
Yep.
It's also outside of its activation, so it cannot boost the damage on that. If I remember that correctly.
It's at the end of its activation, not after it ends its activation. So I think it still counts as being in it. That's one of those annoying specific wordings.
Because it is at the end. Okay.
Yeah, at the end of, not after it ends its activation.
So it's not like reform or something like that, or no, not tactical supremacy.
Sure, yeah, because tactical supremacy is after its activation. Yeah, well, like, that's actually after your turn entirely.
Sure,
but like light cavalry, I believe, is after ending their activation. I believe I'd have to double check the wording.
I believe that too. Yep.
Yeah,
I believe it. I believe you said it.
I believe in a thing called love. Just listen to the rhythm of my heart.
So Trevor, making sure that his pinky nail is cut at the right length.
Chew on that thing. Chad has just got to really be wishing that he still had chain lightning. The good thing about this game is that it has a lot of long, quiet periods where literally nothing happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gives me time to talk about things. Is Jackie Brown that bad?
Huh?
Jackie Brown.
It's not that bad, but it's what you said. It's pretty much the lesser known and the lesser liked of the Tarantino films.
But is it like a hidden gem that doesn't deserve the hate, or is it actually a weaker film?
It's fine.
All right.
I honestly really like The Hateful Eight, though. I thought that movie was really good.
I enjoyed it while I was watching it, and then after it was over, I was just like, all right, it's over. Bye. Whereas like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill, like I can quote and watch those over and over again.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like that rotor horn is flying its 4 inches.
Pew.
That is going to be very close. I don't think he's going to be able to damage that.
Yeah, no, that's going to be within the 3-inch AoE, I think.
It only does 2 inches. Its shriek is 2 inches.
Oh, it's not center 3 inch. It's within 2 inches.
It's within
okay.
2.
So that's going to get both of them.
Yeah, it'll get Gaston and him, but I don't think.
It's dice -10. Roll that 15, Chad.
On 2 dice.
He can.
We
just discussed that he can boost it.
Yes.
That's assuming we were right about that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's 3 dice. Am I fucking drunk?
I don't think those are 18. I don't think those are 18 armor at all.
Oh, that's a pod, not a shifting stone. Good Christ. No, they are not. They are armor very,
50.
very, very low. My brain was going to the shifting stones because that's what I'm used to having to clear out of a zone when there's circle on the table because I don't play circle.
So yeah, he only needed an 8 to kill it.
He totally got. So that guy's totally fucking dead.
Checking on Gaston. Did he actually roll on Gaston? Didn't catch it.
He did not roll on Gaston.
POW 8 to 18. So that is actually minus 10.
Yeah, I was right that 8 is 10 less than 18. I was just wrong about how much armor a pod has. But for a somewhat understandable reason, I hope. So, yeah, so he still hasn't gone with Krueger. So, obviously, he'll be able to do the TK on the TAC if he wants to. It's just, what's he going to do about Gaston? What is that? Is he just going to try to electrocute him to death? He sure is. Oh, that's only 10. I saw the 6 and the 3 at first. Yeah, it looks like Krueger's just going to try to shoot Gaston to death.
Gaston is gone.
Go sustained attack. And then if he is within TK range, which I don't think he is because TK is really far range.
It's possible, though, too, he can actually get that other Rotter Horn up there because that can move 6. It's definitely within range. Range of getting
range of a gallows. So if nothing else, he could throw a gallows at it just to try to kill it or weaken it up. Unless he's just, in case it fails, he wants to still have his fury to transfer. But I have to feel like you're going for the game at this point, and I would spend the fury and do a gallows. Yeah, they're checking line of sight to see if he can do that.
Which is odd, because if you could pretty much see Gaston, you should be able to see.
There's that griffin there, and maybe just because of the positioning of the griffin, I'm not sure. But he moved a POW Fury. Are you going to gallows him? What are you doing, Chad? You checked line of sight, you moved your fury, and now you're standing up and pointing at people.
A wild Brian Kerr has occurred.
Yeah, because he spent 3 fury so far. Because he boosted.
Yep, there goes the gallows.
There goes the gallows with it.
That was a 9.
And then boost that damage.
I believe they are armor 16. Oh, that is not. But you still drag him, though, don't you?
Yes, you still drag him in. So he did, I think, 3 damage to him with a pair of 2s facing up there. That is rough. Was it not a fucking gallows? He did not drag him. Oh, no, it was just his 3rd shot.
Oh.
He just took his 3rd shot against him.
I would have gallows. Well, gallows is 3, so...
So he boosted damage on both of the ones against Gaston. I assume he boosted a hit. That's 3. So he just bought an attack and boosted damage.
Yeah.
Maybe boosted a hit. I mean, that's even if he didn't. We saw the boosted damage. That's 5. Like, he does not have any fury left to do a gallows.
Well, that last 2, he could have just TK'd him out.
He's not in TK range.
Oh, yeah. He has to be within 8. Yep.
Yeah, he's not. He's not within TK range. He maybe could have TK'd himself if he spent 3. So if it was boost to hit, boost damage, buy, and then boost damage. So he spent 4 against Gaston. So that only left him 3, which was the buy, boost hit, boost damage leaves him naked. So yeah, he's completely out. He did not have 4 left to do a TK on himself and a TK on the TAC. Yeah, the only other option was instead of buy, boost, hit, boost damage, he could have just raw dogged a gallows. But that's far riskier.
Well, I mean, the attack is only defensive 11, I believe, so you needed a 4 to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 11.
On the flip side, so his gun is POW 12. I guess he would need a 9 if they're armor 14, like you said. They would need a 7. If they're armor 14, he only needed a 7 to kill it on 3 dice.
Mm-hmm. Stones are moving up, looks like.
Shifting. Block that storm wall. Throw that hammer.
Yep.
That'll hit.
Yep, and that's the thing, though. Stonekeeper, that's...
And that'll get it. Stormkeeper finishes off. Yeah, I think...
Because that is a... Because you don't need an action to be able to teleport, and so you could sack movement and then still use...
Plus, the stones started super far back. I'm not sure what they're measuring. They're checking hypothetical what ifs.
I think the Riderhorn might have been able to just get up there as well, because he moved the other Riderhorn could have actually gotten it too. So speed 6 with the 2-inch reach.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I think that we agree that what Trevor needed to do, was temporal accelerate that storm wall and run him into that zone.
Yep. It might have at least toe into the zone so that way Krueger can't get to him.
Yeah.
And then next turn, then that storm wall is there to just murder everything there.
Yeah. I think because he couldn't. He made it super hard. It actually was harder for Chad to do than we expected it to be during Trevor's turn when we all saw what was going to happen. But temporal accelerating, unless I'm missing something, because in my math, because it's a 5 down to a 3, Bond makes it a 5 again, so it can run 10 inches. Temporal accelerate gets it up to a foot, and so it definitely could have towed into that zone.
Yep.
It's not going to get TK'd out because of Haley's feet. Nothing's going to kill it.
Correct.
Especially if it toes in 4.000001 inches away from the Warp Wolf Stalker, then it doesn't have to worry about damage from a Primal Warp Wolf.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I think that was the way he had to go.
All right. Well, right now there's just cleanup time.
There's just cleanup time, but it's post game commentary.
Yep. So yeah, no, I agree with that entirely. I think the Stormwall should have ran down there. And you would have abandoned your potential to score zones, but at that same time, a lot of Chad's forces were all centered down there, and I think the retaliation after Haley's feat would have been swift.
Yeah, you're gonna murder Falcons, you're gonna murder Warp Wolves, you're just gonna punch the living crap out of everything.
Yeah,
but I guess if Chad failed to clear the zone this turn, Trevor's in better position than he would have been if he had done that. Except even still not then, because he's going to still have to throw stuff into that zone turn after turn after turn after turn. Because the first time Chad clears that zone, he wins. Mm-hmm. Just flat out. The first time he clears the zone, he wins. And the only way that Trevor's going to prevent him from clearing that zone is eventually to put a storm wall into it.
Correct.
So just, I guess, why not do it then during Haley's turn when it is the most immune from reprisal? Oh, well. Yep, so that's that. Hopefully that wasn't too disastrous. I think we mostly figured out what they were doing.
Yeah, no, I think it definitely helps having it on the large television.
Yes.
It makes it nicer.
And muted versus that horrific din.
Yep. All right, so we'll go ahead and call this a wrap.
Cool. Awesome.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching. I'm going to go get food now, I think.
Yep. Go get some food.
Bye.
Bye.